What's up, people? Come on in. Come on in. Let's get up in this thing so we can do this thing. Uh, Give me 2 seconds. Trying to get everything in order and make sure I don't have an echo going. Come on in, please. Come in. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And make sure you guys click that bell so you guys won't miss any last minute uploads or anything that I'm doing, because y'all know I be moving and grooving sometimes. So, you know, it'd be last minute. Like today is one of them days. Come on in. And please ignore Bambi. She done had her little day. She got her nails clipped, so she gonna be kind of snoring and breathing heavy in the background and stuff. As I get this other thing device hooked up real quick. Get right with y'all. Okay, let me see. Turn this down, make sure I don't have an echo. There we go. There we are. Anyways, come in, drop some hearts in the chat. We're going to get this thing started. Today, we are back for another round of Preparing for Love. Today, we're going to be talking about family. And yeah, that's what's going on today. We're going to get it in. And so come on in. Please, again, hit that like, share, and subscribe button as we get started. I'll take my headphones off real quick. Yes. But yes, today's topic is family. Last week we talked about friends and how they influence and ex-lovers, of course, because you guys know I brought my ex on last week. So we talked about how friends and exes can be a major factor in our current or upcoming relationships. So today we'll talk a little bit about family. I did have a special guest. I was going to bring another one of my family members. Y'all think I'm crazy. She got a big personality, but unfortunately she is out because she's from out of town. So she out running her last minute little things to try to get whatever she wants. And so I won't have her on right now. Maybe we'll just do a little quick live later on when I go over there. Excuse my sniffles because I've been running around, so my allergies is up right now. But yes, we're going to talk about family and how they in fact affect our relationships, as far as, if we are in one, we not in one. We seen last week, if you guys watch and follow, put a ring on it. We know that one of the couples is definitely having a family issue, how, the matriarch of the family is playing a major role, almost to an Oedipus complex, like her son cannot put his foot down and create those boundaries. And sometimes that is the biggest problem that we seem to have with our family, is putting down boundaries with them, especially when we become an adult and we have to establish where, I'm still your child, but I am grown, and sometimes that can be a little hard, especially if you the baby or your mama's boy or your daddy's girl, shoot, hell, if your mama's girl, and daddy's boy, it can be hard to set those boundaries or whatnot. But you guys come on in, show some love in the chat. Hey, Mimi. Hey, girl. How you doing? Show some love. Please hit the like button if you can. And we're going to go ahead and just get started. And of course, you guys can interact with me and tell me how you feel about some of the stuff, because it's not just my opinion. This is just, some of it is my experience. Some of it is what I've seen, how families are acting. Of course, like we say, we're watching the show right now and how that plays a major role in some families' dynamic. And I'll take it like this. I am a family girl. Okay. I'm really big on my family. Of course, I'm trying to include a lot of my family on these lives and have you guys meet them as well. Hi, Tarika. And, I really need somebody who is just as involved probably with their family as much as I want them involved with mine, because me and my family tend to do a lot of things together. We have parties. I'll put it in this way. I've never really had many friends outside of family, because we have a lot of cousins. I got a lot of Me and my aunts are close, uncles are close. All of my family is really tight knit. So growing up, I didn't really look for more outside friends. I had a few here and there, and even those were even considered family, how much they would be around and participate in my family life. So for me, looking for a partner, I really need somebody who is very much close to their family. It doesn't have to be like I love every single one of my family. We all hang out all the time, but I do want somebody who has a very strong relationship, like with their mother, their father. Um, and I do understand, coming from a single parent home, that it might not, both parents might not be as close to you as possible. So I can understand and respect that. You guys know me and my biological is not the closest, but I do have love for her, as well as I have love for the woman I do call my mother, who stepped in with my father and took care of me. So I need somebody with that same kind of balance, so to speak. You know, I need them to be able to introduce me to their mother. Since we're going to talk a little bit about put a ring on it, introduce me to their mother without it being a problem. I don't care if you got baby mamas, all of this stuff like that. That is your past. And you should be okay with introducing me to your mother at this state and not feel that she has to take sides because I'm the new person coming in and you guys got a child together. That's like, that dynamic right there on that show is the craziest I've ever literally heard. I don't even know how that's going to work out for too long, because, when a man takes a wife, he takes a new role. So your mother, you have to kind of put your parents aside when you guys decide to join that union together. And I don't see how a man that can't even introduce you properly to his mother is going to be able to do that properly, and my co-host Sean, we've spoke. I'm not going to tell his business, but sometimes mothers and mother-in-laws can be a big issue to your marriage. And so you want them to be able to respect your boundaries, and you have to be able to at least set those boundaries and then put your foot down if they can't get out a little out of line. I'm not saying cuss your mother out or have your wife cuss your mother out or anything disrespectful like that, but it should be able to have a adult to adult conversation and say, hey, look, this is the person I'm choosing to be with, please respect that. Now on the flip side, sometimes they see things in people that we do not. Could they be projecting some stuff? Possibly. But, they still have to respect your boundaries, just like they would want you to respect theirs. Because say, if my dad got a new woman in his life, I'm pretty sure he's going to want me to respect his situation. I can't just come out, oh, that's not my mom, this. You got your love life. You and my mom been separated for I don't know how many years, whatever the case may be. So I should be able to accept that, long as this person is making them happy, I can be okay with that. Long as they're not doing any harm, they're not disrespecting my parents, they're not causing any negative feelings and just letting them down all the time. They're really being genuine and upfront. I should be able to respect that. Hey, Sean. You say you glad I have my own channel because I mostly watch Little Black Book from Chad. I'll just be up here ranting. Don't get me started. Shoot. I be trying to tell these people what I see. They be out of control, But we haven't even got to that episode in Ready to Love yet, where I'm not sure who. Okay, so last season it was the woman to the family. So I think this season last season the men were bringing them to the family. Because I remember just now Walter brought him to his sister. What the hell happened last season? Because I remember not Sabrina too. What's her name? Sydney introducing Phil to her mom. Oh my God. They were just all over the place last season, huh? I don't know who the hell. Usually they go back and forth each season, but now I'm confused because I seen Sydney bringing who else introduced? Yeah, Momim introduced her family. Then the guys kind of introduced to their family. Well, shit, don't get me started. I'm sorry. So yeah, family is obviously a big issue. So I think both the men and the women do introduce to the family. I guess it makes sense because yeah. Okay, so yeah, when on Houston, the last resort, Rashid had his sister and Adriana had her dad. So yeah. Okay, so both parties introduced. So this is how big family plays into your relationship. Yeah, yeah, Sydney did introduce to her family. And Phil, who the hell did Phil introduce to anybody? Who did he have? Did he have somebody? But I do remember, like, certain people introducing their family last season because Frank did his cousin, and was it his cut? Both his cousins, but both of them people was his cousin, or one is his sister or brother or something. But yeah, that's how major family is and how big they factor. So even the show understands that both the male and the female need to introduce their partner to their family. Hold on one second. Mustache, can we help you? Mustache, would you like to come meet us? I'm sorry, y'all. Child, my cat be out of control. He be liking attention. You say you don't think the people on this show this year is ready to find the love of their life? Oh, Joy got on your nerves this episode. She didn't get on my nerves. It's probably because I'm just as petty, so I'll probably be out there doing the same thing. Hey, I got a little guest today. Hey, Kia. Oh, I see you, girl. Slay, baby.
See, I'm not even this. I was running errands and I seen your message at the red light, and I was like, okay, give me 15.
I ain't mad though. The quick slay is for me. I am not mad. I'm not gonna look at you haired heifers no more though, because y'all trying to bring me back. I'm trying to hold on.
It was time, Jay.
I'm not mad because when I did mine, it was a random zoop. We gone.
Yeah, it was
We
so
gone.
random. I was kind of mentioning it like weeks leading up to it, but yeah, it was just like, you know what? Whatever. It'll grow back. I should change my mind.
Yeah. Okay. Listen. Hold these thoughts, baby. Hold these thoughts. We're gonna do Ready to Love tonight too. We hold these thoughts, okay? We're gonna get into it. I don't. Okay, we're gonna do that tonight. Y'all be back tonight. We're gonna be back here again in just a few. But yes, so Kia, we over here just talking about how family impacts our relationships. Either they can make or break. Sometimes family will forsake us in these things. They get attached to the wrong person. Now we got this old crazy person in our life, and we can't get rid of them because the family want to keep them around, or they done ran the good one off because they not happy, they miserable. So that's what we're talking about, just how family impacts our relationship, and of course setting boundaries with our family, which can be sometimes very difficult to do, especially when we're coming to age. But especially I feel like if we're going to take up a life partner and enter into a marriage, there should be some respected boundaries on both parties, our partners as well as our families.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And family can be our biggest enemy sometimes because if and I understand people be like, oh well, just because you broke up with him don't mean we broke up with him. Okay, there could be a number of reasons why we broke up that I'm information that you may not be privy to. There's none of your business, and it's not always just like, oh, it just didn't work. And so I told people my next relationship, I said I'm gonna be in a whole relationship and y'all ain't gonna even know because it was so hard with my last relationship. Like I was like, okay, if I'm not, I'm not the type of person, but I'm telling you to stay away from this person, leave them alone.
Right.
So finally I had to finally tell the tea, like, okay, not all the tea, but I was like, listen, leave him alone. And then but it shouldn't even got to that point where you should trust me as your family member, and I'm not petty, like, oh, well, just because we, fell out, y'all can't be his friend. No, it's some serious stuff going on here, and I need y'all to leave that man alone. And then Freddie was like, he don't even like y'all anyway. He never liked y'all. They were like, what? He didn't like us?
Let's be for real. Let's be for real. We have the pillow talk. I just don't like y'all.
Wait, how you team this person? Y'all didn't even kick it when we were together. So like, are you trying to get back at me? Because I'm like, why all of a sudden y'all want to be besties? He the only person that do that type of work? No, you're being petty. Mm-hmm. You're being nosy. Leave that man alone. He don't like you.
Yeah, that's the craziest right now. Like, that's the craziest thing. Like, if you were not hanging with us while we were together, you weren't even in support of us while we were together, why are you with him now?
And it was funny because at one point, we were still cordial, and, we were friends before anything else. So he would be like, hey, so-and-so called, yada, yada, yada. And I just want to give you a heads up. So I'm looking like, oh, they shady. Like, they wouldn't say nothing to me till like when it get closer to, like, oh yeah, do you mind if I ask him yada, yada, this or whatever? And I'm like, you already asked him. So why you asking me 3 months down the line? Because you already contacted him. So why you didn't come to me if you knew it would be a problem or thought it would be a problem? So family, they are a trip.
Definitely can be a trip. And like I said, I wanted to have one of my special guests come on because she was going through some family issues just recently. She went through her divorce and found her a new love of her life, whatnot. The actual love of her life, because actually this is a person that was before her actual marriage and stuff. It was a relationship that kind of went away because he went off to the army, and then she went doing her thing, and they both got married, and they both now divorced, and now they can be together or whatnot. And it's beautiful, but certain family members started showing their true colors on it because they want to pick sides with the other person. And the craziest part is they know the full tea. It's not like they just hearing her side or anything. They were in the middle of it. So they know literally every detail what transpired in that first marriage. Yet they want to choose that person over her. And it kind of sucks because it's drawing a wedge. Granted, she has a strong bond with this new person, but it's drawing a wedge. Hey, Crystal, how are you?
Hey, y'all, look at you beautiful ladies. And
I know. She got that hair
part going.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, this is a great topic. Thank you so much for sending me the link. I was like, y'all just listen to Kia. What she just said?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you don't know your family until you get into these hard situations like this, and you find out who's really happy just because you're happy, and who's only happy when you're miserable. And it sucks because, like I was saying, she's in this situation, and now that she's about to enter a new phase of her parentinghood as being a grandma, new things is coming up where this person wants to pick sides. And so you can't come to the thing because you got this new person, and that new person is not invited by this person, don't want this person there and all this. And it's just like, oh, wow. Why are we having these issues like this when it's not even about any of you guys? It's about the baby.
But I always say sometimes it's that low-key haterade because people in your family really don't be liking you for real. And that's just their way, I think, to get back at you. Because again, with my situation, I'm like, y'all didn't even y'all didn't even talk to this man. Now you like showing up at his place of business. It's like, this is creepy. And it was just like, at a point was like, okay, this is too much. Why are you hanging with him? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think it'd be low-key haterade. That's just
To piggyback on what Kia just said, it's like a resentment that they're upset with how you're moving. So that's how they move to, put themselves back in with that ex or whatever previous situation to make you feel some type of way. And that's not right. That's not right. But whatever issues they're having with you, they want you to move a little bit differently. So they try to manipulate that situation. Our families be our worst ones. And that's what's sad.
So. And see, sometimes I have the reverse effect where because I'll get close when I finally do open up, I'll be close to that person, but you will know why you guys are together. I would get close to that person, and then when you break up, it's like, dang, do I was supposed to break up with this person too? Because now we got a whole friendship and this and that, and I just be like, don't bring nobody else around me. Please don't bring nobody around me. I don't want to get to know them unless you get married. Tell me at the wedding day, because that's the only time I want to meet this person, because y'all want to have a relationship. Bring these people around. I get to liking them. Now we hanging out. 3 weeks later, oh, I don't mess with that person no more. Like, what?
Until after the wedding, until you guys have been solidified, then I'm like, okay, I'll get to know
baby, and I know they in your life for good.
But Jay, I believe in healthy boundaries, because my ex, mother-in-law, she loves me dearly. Her son was like, I think she loved you more than she loved me. But when the relationship was over, I created boundaries, because if it was left up to her, I would be at every baby shower. I would be at every wedding. Like, and she would really still invite me the first year. And I was like, no, I can't go there or whatever. And I, really broke it down to her. I was like, that's your son. So I'm not trying to make anyone feel uncomfortable. Now I call her son raggedy, but to her face, but I just didn't want no one to feel uncomfortable. So I was just like, okay, I'm at peace with this. So again, I don't show up at her house. She'd be like, well, come over and pick such and such up. But like, no, I don't want to come to your house because I don't want to run into your son, or, if he, bring somebody here. So it's boundaries. You have to understand. So does she still call me to this day? Yeah, she'll call me when my dad died. She, sent flowers, she sent food, but it's boundaries. I don't overstep those boundaries. So I think there's healthy boundaries that can be put in place. You don't have to totally disappear.
So I have a question. I didn't hear the very beginning of the show, but who are you referencing? Are you referencing Put a Ring on It with
that's it. That's in regards to it. One of the things why we having it, because the mother boundary is kind of a hard boundary for some men.
Good.
So yeah.
This is what I wanted to say, and this is what I said last week on Misha and I, we do our Put a Ring on It on Sundays, right? And this is what I said last week. There's a movie, oh gosh, and y'all remind me of the movie that I referenced, but it's produced by T.D. Jakes and is Taraji P. Henson and Morris Chestnut. And the pastor said,
When the Bow Breaks?
Yes. No, not When the Bow Breaks. Not Easily Broken. Not easily broken.
Okay, because they in two of them together. Two different
They movies. Are. But the pastor said there's 3 people in your marriage only: you, your husband, and God. Did you replace that third person? Did you replace God with your mother? Because she has been the answer. She has been that person that you were calling on, that you're going to, instead of your husband. And to me, when you do that, that's up to him. I truly believe, what's his name? I keep calling him Rick Ross.
Alfonso?
Yes, Alfonso. Alfonso's like, well, that's not up to me. Well, that's not my fault. Yes, it is. That is, so I feel like, and I know it's not easy, and he's like, well, that's hard because that's my mother. Yes, relationships are hard. The relationship between a father and a son and a mother, all of those things are difficult, but it's up to you to make that leap. Him being or if it was a mother and daughter, that's that relationship, that's that cord. He needs to cut that cord, or he needs to make those strides to build that bridge between those two. And I didn't know he had 3 kids, but
I didn't know either. Yeah, this week.
Your ex has been in the relationship, or your mother has known the ex for 20 years. It's difficult. I'm not saying it's not difficult. It doesn't matter.
But let me go here, because I was up to 3:00 last night counseling somebody on this situation. And I told her, I'm like, you are dead wrong. You are the mother, but you have to pay attention when you're dating someone. These are these important conversations and stuff you need to pay attention to, because this situation didn't happen when they got married. The mother was wilding prior to. This is my family member. And I told her, I said, you wilding. You on some other stuff. That's not your husband. I used to always tease her, but you act like that's your boo. But now at this point, I said, your gripe is not with his wife. You shouldn't have nothing to say to her. If y'all don't get along, that's fine. at this point, y'all agreed that y'all don't like each other. Okay, cool. But that's your son. So you should be addressing your son. You shouldn't be addressing her. And if your son, he makes the decision what's best for his household, if it's a valid issue. But I said, all that you're doing, I said, no. You are not in that marriage. So mothers and sons, mothers really, I fought them because you need to let your son go. Let your son grow up. And then once that son become a man, you need to be a man. I said, my cousin, I said, he need to grow get his stuff together because he's wrong. He need to support his wife, and you are so wrong.
Yeah, I definitely agree with all, but I don't just find like it's the son and the mother's fault. It's all parties involved not setting boundaries, because you have the baby mama who's not respecting the move on. We're separated. I need to have boundaries as the baby mother. I need to have my own boundaries, because yes, I can have a relationship with your mom or whatnot. But my relationship with your mom shouldn't affect what you have going on, because I don't want it to affect what I have going on, because I don't need your mama interfering and running interference in my stuff either. You know, if I want to move on, I need her to respect that as well. As far as the mother, that's your son. Let him be a man. Set your boundaries with the baby mama smooth enough so you can still be in a child's life, as well as be cordial with the mom. So in case them two don't have proper conversation, you can be the mediator in between. But that's where your place stands. He needs to set the major boundaries, because as a man, that is your place to start that foundation with your future. Just like Shade said, no matter who he's going to be with, this problem is going to exist, because really he is the problem who is not putting his foot down to say, I am the man in this situation. This is what I need to do, mom. I respectfully need you to back up and give me my space and respect whatever woman I bring over here, to understand that this is not my baby mother, but this is the future. So, and Shay also needs those boundaries too, which she's trying to set right now on the show, but she should have set them long before. Like, hey,
it's been 3 years. So I have a question, and a lot of people were saying that because she's a single mother, he feels even more obligation. I don't think that has any bearing. I mean, I see.
Which one is the single mother, Shay or his baby?
His what's his name? Rick Ross?
No, but his baby mother or
his mother. His mother
own mother
raised him as a single mother. So he feels even more obligated and even more like he doesn't want he wants that respect. He wants to respect her and respect her wishes, because she was a single mother and she raised him. And I think he has a brother. I don't know. But I don't know, as now that he's 45 as well. I'm sorry. I said it last week. I said at Joe Big and this.
You know, I don't watch the show, so I'm looking like 45, and you still acting like you're 10 in the sandbox.
And that I'll mute myself and go, Kia.
Take me out. So again, I don't watch the show, but as a man, you have to like man up. Even if you have a single mother and you feel obligated, it comes a point where you have to realize that if you are in a relationship, and especially if you're married, that relationship comes first, and you can do it in a nice way. I'll just tell a quick story about one of my situations. It was like the first year of marriage, and it was his first birthday with us being together. So he had to work or whatever, and his mom said, "What are you about to do for your birthday?" His birthday. Oh, well, he got to go to work, so I'm going to have lunch with him. Do you know when I took a nap, his mama showed up at his job to beat me there? I said, did she do this on purpose? So I called and was like, okay, well, you going to lunch yet? He was like, oh, I'm eating lunch with my mama. Wait a minute. So I said, okay, so I went off or whatever, and I was like, this is too much or whatever. So after it dust settled or whatever, I was like, she did that on purpose. I was like, that's not no accident. We had a whole conversation. She's trying to insert herself while you over there talking about, well, just come up here. I'm not about to be the third wheel. It was never this, whatever. So once I went off on him, I went off real hard. But he knew that I wasn't playing. So at that point, whatever conversation he had with his mom outside of me, I never heard about the conversation. It never came back to me. But after that, we became best friends. She, like I said, she still loves me to this day. But it was that conversation that he had to have. He had to go man up and was like, happy wife, happy life. She not right, whatever. So men have to step in and, be the mediator, because it shouldn't touch your person that you're with as far as, your mom. That's not her mama. She shouldn't have to address your mama. I didn't have to go, shouldn't have to went to his mom and be like, that you was raggedy for this and this.
No, because then that would cross the lines of respect.
Exactly.
Because once it goes down, she starts complaining to him, and he going, "Why you talk to my mama that way?"
Exactly.
So that's where he has to mediate as a man, because you can have conversations with my dad, but if you have an issue with my dad, let me tell him, so I can have those boundaries with my dad. Like, hey, okay, can you respect my household? My husband feels this type of way. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here and totally put a boyfriend of a couple of weeks over my dad or whatever. But once we get into a serious situation, it's going to be like, I'm glad I don't have to worry about this with my daddy, but it will have to be like, hey, you can't just be coming over to his house, putting your feet all on his table and stuff like that. That's not how he do his house. So however he do his house, that's how it is. Like my dad liked to, talk a little something from time to time. That's what he do. We don't do that over here, So if you're going to do it respectfully, you got to do it around the animals. You can't come in this house and do it, So there's boundaries that come in, just like if I go to my parents' house, they got their boundaries. I can't just go over there and bring any old body up in their house and just start walking around through their house any type of way. They got their rules and regulations. So you have to respect mine. And that's what we as a people tend to have an issue as we get to certain ages in life of saying, hey, I am grown now.
So I wonder if the gentleman that you guys are talking about, did he have any other males that were married? Because I always tell people that you should, be around like-minded people, because if you hang around all single people, maybe, you don't know how this go. Because again, the family member that was talking to me last night, her son has never been around grown men, or he's never been around married people. So I'm like, what he's doing is not right. He has to, I said, he really acting like a female, really. I said, some of the stuff he's doing, it doesn't make sense to me. So
the little bit of background that I do have on him or whatnot is he is, I believe, actually related to Rick Ross, but he does work with them as well. So he's a man of the industry. We know that there are men in the industry that are married. The success rate on that is, you've been a long time girlfriend before we got here, and now I'm tired and gonna have to and ready to let the world know how long you've been here. So we know that that's how the industry relationship goes as far as rap and stuff is concerned. You just, how dare you put it, I gotta test you. You know what I'm saying? It's not the best thing, but that's a lot of their mentality, whether it's said or not. I need to know if you hear from me or what you here for and all these things like that. He's not currently married to her yet. They're talking about, he proposed, but the first proposal, he took the ring back because she decided she didn't want it. So he took the ring back, and then they had a second proposal. So we're here again. But the whole thing is, I'm still not properly introduced to your mother. I'm introduced involuntarily by just coming into the house to check on you. And she's just like, oh, I wasn't expecting to see you. So with that said, the mom knows of you. I don't know what kind of conversations that him and her are having about her, which is a problem and concerning, because it's like, why can't you introduce? You can bring her all the way to your mom's house to pick up the kid, drop off the kid, do whatever it is that you're doing or whatever, but you can't have enough conversation to say, hey, mom, can you at least step outside and say hi to my lady? Hey, this is my lady. This is Shay. Or whatnot. This is, that should be easy to do, unless you going to your mom running and carrying on some other foolishness, which would never make me feel, if I was in her position, feel secure in this relationship. Because like I said at the start of this, I'm a family girl. And I know I'm like Corey, to the sense that I can bring you around my family and it really doesn't mean anything. Like, as far as we really serious or nothing like that, until I have like real conversation and they see you often at my family events, then they like, oh, okay, this must be somebody. But just bringing you around doesn't really mean nothing. But if you can't even do that with me, I find that a real big problem.
Yeah, because I could say he's not taking her. I don't think he's taking her serious because it's like guys that I've never brought. Like I could say today, like, oh yeah, I remember I was dating so and so, and they be like, we never seen him. Who is this? You know, we just reminiscing now. And they be like, I never seen him because it was intentional. He was not a keeper. He was just a fun time, whatever. But no, I think he's doing something. You know, she may want to pay attention that he's really not really moving forward with her. So again, I don't watch the show, but that sounds like I'm not really serious about you. This is really not going nowhere. As long as you allow this to go on, we'll continue.
Especially when your mother is the matriarch.
Right. I agree with Kia, and I said this last week. I don't think that he's serious. I think even though she thinks he's serious because it's been 3 years, but some men just want to keep you around because they want to keep you around because they like having you around. But as far as seeing you longevity, it makes a difference if, I don't know if it's 6 months, and that's my question to you guys. How long should we wait to have you to introduce you to our family and say, listen, she's coming to the cookout. This is the dynamic, and that's the end, and no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But to me, not only has she not been around the mother, but she hasn't really met any of his family, and that's concerning after 3 years. I don't think that he's serious, and that's concerning to me.
Well, the confusing part is you have this big elaborate proposal engagement party, and you claim that's to show everybody how much you love, but like she said, the most important people to you are not there. So who is this party really for? Because I don't care if your mama want to show out and be like, oh heck no, and act like what's that girl, Lyrica Anderson's mama at the wedding proposal and start slamming things down and causing a whole fit, but she there. She can have her reasons for why she don't want me to be there, but I mean, to be with you or whatever, but at least she is there, and you can't even have her there, because that's what it sounded like to me, like she wasn't even there.
You think, ladies, we need to pay attention. Like those signs, like I said, I don't watch it. The signs are all there. And if he's 45, how old is she? You like, girl, this is not it. Because again, this sounds like a production he put on, not like a real thing, like just to keep you quiet. Like, okay, hey, call somebody, set this up and do this. But again, if the most important people to you are not there, I would be concerned.
Now, mind you, this is Alexia's cousin in real life, so the girl. So
yep, in real life, this is Alexia's cousin, and what's his name? Rick Ross's cousin or brother or something like that. But also, okay, you have this elaborate engagement. So to me, an elaborate engagement means my family and your family. I also, at that point, I would want to be coming to the cookout, even if I do something wrong, even if we have some arguments, even if I don't get along with that brother or this, that, and the other, like I need to get get acclimated into the family. I also feel like if you're not getting acclimated, and you have this elaborate engagement that says nothing. And I agree with Kid, like we have to look at the signs. We have to really, we have to be so aware, and we have to know what we want. Are you just getting married for the red bottoms?
That's what it comes to me to. Like you're just hanging on because of the status.
That's what it sounds like. Because it's like, is he really going to marry you? Because like I said, at the end of the day, men are very strategic. Like it was funny because my brother been divorced for a minute, but I ain't met no girl. But I heard there was one that's like been hanging around. So I was like, that's not his girl because I've never met her. You know, I don't know nothing about whatever. But if she want to stick around for all these years, that's on her. And it's just funny because people like, yes, he do. I'm like, no, he don't. So if she, I said, when there are women out there that will just want to kick it.
So this is. I like I said, I'm one of those type of people that's kind of like Corey. I don't mind bringing you to my family. That's not a big deal to me like that. I can bring you to my dad. I can bring you to my mom or whatever. But there are key people in my life that if I introduce you to, like my daughter, if I introduce you to her, that's something major, because I don't generally just show my daughter to any relationship that I am in. And I know some people have that specific person in their life. So for you ladies, who is that person that you is like, okay, when I'm bringing you around this person, you can kind of almost say we almost official, depending on how they like you.
This is so funny. It would be my mother. But I did invite an ex, and I messed up my own rule. I did invite my ex, introduce him to my mother, and I wasn't all the way there yet. So I messed up my own rule, and it did not work out for me because she was constantly, even after we had well broken up, constantly still asking about him. Just like y'all were saying, like you still wanted him to come around, just like he was saying. And I was like, that is over. That is dead. Like, so I definitely messed up my own rule. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Who you got?
So I would say my top 5. So it wouldn't necessarily be family, because sometimes your friends know you better than your family. So I have friends that I talk to like every day, like several times a day. And I was just laughing with one of them. I said, I know you better than you know yourself. And she was like, what? I was like, for real? I was like, I already knew why you said that. But with that being said, my top 5 would be able to, see stuff. They'd be like, okay, I know you feeling butterflies, but did you notice this? So I would, if I introduce you to my top 5, you in there, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that, Kia. I have 2 friends as well. Sorry, but go ahead.
No, you good. You good. Yeah. No, I definitely got friends, but I know we talk about family this week. So it's just like, if I introduce you to this person in my life, and my daughter is that one, and like I said, very few exes have actually met my daughter in person. Half the time they don't even know I have a kid until like it just randomly come up like, no, that you're not seeing her at all. You're not coming to my house if she's there, none of this stuff like that. Like, I don't play with my baby girl.
Yeah, I don't have kids, so it would be like I said, with my family, they sometimes they love radar. They be off and they be asking the wrong question, or they be just being nosy on some other stuff and not really like the healthy part. So I don't want them to run off the guy. Like, let me just make sure. Yeah.
Are we asking the right questions of our family members? Are we, are we just bringing people around our family and they're not right for us? Like, I agree with you, Jay. If I had a child, I would be very selective. But like we said, sometimes our family, they can be the worst ones.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Certain family member, that's why I like the house party. I like to bring you around when we have an event or something like that, because all my family is going to see how you interact. Because if you can't get along with my family, like I said, we're a big community of our own. So if you can't get along and fit in with our family just naturally, they're going to be like, not this one. And my aunties and them are some straight shooters and stuff. They just going to be like, I don't know about this one, baby. Like, I had one ex, my aunties didn't even meet. They just heard about it, and they was like, nope, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. And they was on point with it too. I was like, damn. But they was hitting them. They was like, yeah, if he can't do it, no.
So, I have a question, y'all. Okay, so house party. Because I have a best friend that does this as well. And she would be one of my friends that if I bring my man around her, she would know. She's very keen. But if she brings around a guy around her family, her brothers or her sister and her father, if he was sitting on the wall, if he was a wallflower, would just sit back and not speak or, not interact with them, not joke. Nope. Cut. He needs to be, whether they like the jokes he's saying, he has to be able to interact and not be shy around people. That is so important.
Because I've had people at my parties, wherever I'm going, they're following me. It's like, dude, I mean, I even had some homegirls that be like that, like, bruh, my family is open, go mingle, just have a good time. I got to do something. I got to work this room real quick. I can't just have you everywhere I'm going.
I totally agree.
Hey, can you, like, the house is open. Food is over there. Bathroom is there. Everybody is here. Enjoy. Like this is a whole function. And you guys know I cook. So most of my time I'm in the kitchen. So I need you to just be able to go. Now you can hang out with me and keep me company in the kitchen. But if they playing cards or dominoes or something like that, go interact. Go have fun if that's your thing. If they outside chopping it up about whatever, go outside and chop it up. Nobody gonna fight you. You good. Like you ain't gotta be scary. So I need you just to be able to weave in and out of the situation, because even when I'm with my dude, once I get acclimated into your house with your family, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna have my own conversations going. You can come check on me every so often, but I don't need to keep following you every room you go into. Once I get introduced, it's like, okay, well, this is where I'm gonna be over here. Y'all about to do what? Y'all about to eat? We about to play some cards? What we doing? Like, point me to the fun. That's where I need to be at.
But if you are scared, like Ravine just said, don't be scared. If you are scared, that's going to show up too.
Well, I just don't need the people to be all hard on me, because y'all, Crystal keeps saying I'm not an introvert, but I am an introvert. So I might be the one to be like, quiet at first. So don't judge me, because I might be a little, and I observe. So I might, be like, let me read the room and see, So I think, we can give people a chance the first time, maybe. And then,
no, that's what I said. Once I get acclimated, because it's like we here for a party. So it's not like we just in and out. In and out would be a different scene. So it might not be too much interaction. But once I get in there, I get to introduce to a couple of people in areas and stuff like that. It's like, oh, okay, they like, this is what they doing over there. They having deep conversations. I ain't ready for that yet. Let me go over here to a little bit of fun. Let me warm myself up, and then let's see how the conversation goes. I might be up into some intellectual stuff by the end of the night. I don't know. But, once I'm in there, it's just like, okay, because just like when I met my dude's mom for the first time, it was one of them introductions from outside. Like she waving from outside because it was still COVID. So we was trying to respect, like, not going in. But so when we did go in the house, he kind of left me, and it was just me and her chopping it up. Like, if you gonna be, I'm that girl that, the mom's gonna be stuck on or whatever. Like the ex that was here last week, like he told y'all, his mom still calls me. She even called my daughter from time to time just to say, hey, just checking on you, sending a prayer to you, whatever the case may be. Moms like me like that. But yes, I set my boundaries once we're on our separate ways or whatnot. I try to start to create some distance or whatnot. So I can't talk to you on a regular everyday basis or whatnot. But he even said it. Shoot, my mom was still calling her when I wasn't talking to her. Like, Mom, stop. Like, don't call her no more. Exes in high school was the same way. I found about them having babies and going off to this place and that place because I was talking to their mom. Mom talked to me about her relationship. So I fits in when I want to. I'll put it like that. And once I'm in there, it's like, can't get rid of me.
Family can be off, because I'm that sister that be like looking at you like, who are you? So it was funny because, and it's not personally to you, because it'd be like, here my brother go with them shenanigans again. So me and my brother, we used to be roommates, and he would just bring in randoms all the time. You'd be like, okay, you wake up like, who is she? So I never took anybody serious. So when he finally got one, and she's like, come in my room. She's like, hey, how you doing? Yada, yada. So I'm looking at her like, why are you here? And so she said, like, later on down the line, she was like, I wanted to fight you. She was like, you was looking at me like, why are you here? She was like, I just wanted to be your friend. And I was
That's
just
the
like,
funniest.
well, I wasn't trying to be your friend. Now she's my best friend. Like, literally, like, they divorced, but like, she's still my best friend. But she remind me all the time. Like, I remember I wanted to fight you. I was like, his sister is evil. And
that's the funniest too, because that's how one of my closest friends' friendship started. They were talking to my cousin at the time, and my cousin was out of town, and she had to give me some money, and she sent her girlfriend or whatever. And I was just like, I don't know her. I don't know her. Who is this?
Just like you said it.
And so when I get to the car to make this shade, she at the car, she like,
that would be me.
We got the same expression on our face, like, who is this?
But Jay, your body language alone, you was like,
yeah, because it really was that. It's like, why are you sending this person? Because I don't know them. Like, send me somebody I know. But it was so funny because we laugh about it still to this day. We both, everybody that they like, how y'all meet? It was like, we didn't like each other when we met. It was not a nice experience or whatever. And it wasn't nasty or nothing like that. It was just like, I don't know you. I don't know if I want to know you. Like, exactly. It's funny. Sometimes it work out like that. Because like I said, it takes me a little while to warm up to people. And I'm like that, Kia. Like, I got cousins. Rotation. I'll just be like, I'm tired.
What's his name? The Corey, the guy from the other show, where he was bringing all the girls to meet his family. And then you also don't know what situation or what shenanigans he's on. Because I remember one of my exes, when I first met his mama, she was like, all I see is thighs. So I was walking behind him. So I wish you would have let me know your mama was here before I come in here with all these thighs. And she was like, all I see is thighs. Who is that? But I didn't know that this guy had another girl that he was living with or whatever. So that's why she was mad at looking at me like, why is she here? I didn't even know. But she was like, sorry, ma'am.
Kia has a great point, and I kind of want to turn it around because she's told me this story before. Do our love interests prepare us to meet the mother or to meet the family?
Sometimes not.
Because this guy did not say, she thought she was going out on a date, so she had her thighs out, right? Mm-hmm. And then he's like, okay, we're going over to my mom's house first.
No, he didn't say that. I didn't that she was in the house until I heard her voice. I'm walking behind him, and all I heard her say was like, who is that with all them thighs? And then he was like, oh, Kia, meet my mama.
How old were you when this happened? Or how old was
this? This was early 20s.
Okay, because I was about to say that sound like that age, because one of my first loves had me the same way. I'm walking through the house with him and stuff, and it's just like, who that? It's like, oh, wait, somebody here? Like, I was not ready. But like I said, she ended up being my best friend later on, telling me about her situation.
So hopefully a grown man is not doing that they're preparing you. Like, hey, I want you to meet my mama. That is, you're prepared. Like, okay, hey, my mom. Like I said, now, we bring something to the mom house, where there's a bottle of wine and dessert, something. But, then it was different. But yeah, hopefully that a guy of maturity is preparing you, telling you, giving you a heads up. Well, my mom likes this. So you're prepared. So you're not bringing her something she's allergic to, because she might be allergic to wine. Then here you come with a wine.
Not even that she likes this. Sometimes you need to prepare me for how she is like. Sometimes a mom could be like a little quiet at first, but once she get to know you, she'll be, she'll warm up to you. Or my mom got a lot of energy. Prepare for this, or my mom is very outspoken. Give me a little disclaimer on mom.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. let me know her personality. Let me know. Maybe she just might be quiet and sizing me up, but she's probably pretty cool. I don't know that. And I come in all engaging. Hi, how are you doing? I'm Crystal. No. Or I put on my corporate voice. Hello, it's nice to meet you. Whatever.
I need to know what type of mom you got. Exactly. Do I need to be ratchet or I need to be professional?
Exactly. Am I a California girl or am I from the country? Let me know. Right. Where is she from? So
is she a hugger or a dabber? Like, let me know.
Exactly. So I need to know those type of things. And I agree with bring something. Even if she doesn't like flowers, bring something. But even if you don't know that, I just would like to know her temperament. I think that's so important.
That's the biggest thing to me, is the temperament of her. Like, let me know how I need to approach it. Do I approach with caution, or is she gonna be okay if I say hi?
Yes.
I don't need to get beat up for saying hi. Like, she gave me a dry hi.
Yeah. Or she gave me, or her handshake was like kind of light and kind of like Bridgerton, like just real light. And I was like, ugh.
Or she opened the door, was just like,
Yeah. And I would want to know that temperament. I would want, and I know the topic is us preparing for love, but with family, but are we being prepared? Are our significant others like preparing us?
Sometimes you just gotta prepare yourself for any occasion. That's why I kind of like, I do like agree with Kia as how I go and observe.
Yes,
as much as I can first.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a cordial hi, get the hi in, how you doing? And my name is such and such, whatever.
Right.
But then I'm going to see how him and her interact. try to get the gist of how they joke with each other or whatnot, you know. And I'm not going to go right there right away with anything, but I do need to see how far I can take it. Because I even have this rule with just dating him. Like, I need to see him in his his hostile state. Yeah, no, I need to see him in a hostile state first, just so I know how far I can take it. So it's kind of like with the mom, I need to see her in her element with her son being comfortable, so I know, you know, how do I approach her?
Right. Because if we don't see how they're interacting, the mother's son dynamic, we need to see that first.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's not even just, I need a physical see it. Sometimes I just need you to be on the phone in front of me. Let me see how often y'all talk. How, you know, do y'all talk on a daily, weekly? Is the conversation open? Are you just, you know, really closed off, one-sided? You know, is it always oh God, okay, mom, okay, mom, okay, mom, I gotta go. Is it that type of dynamic? Or hey, mom, I just checking on you. I want to see how your day is. You know, are you good? Oh yeah, baby, I'm good. You know, I need to know exactly what this is like. I don't necessarily have to see it all in person, and especially since, you know, this panorama has changed life. We don't have we can't always be there, but I do need to get some feeling of where you guys are with each other. Like I said, I don't mind you being in a single parent household. I'm pretty much that myself.
Right.
But I want you to have a bond with at least one of your parents. You know, now if you don't have that with either, you better be adopted. Like,
so that may not. Okay, so I just had to come back because I had a phone call, but that may not mean that there's something wrong with the person. Sometimes you may have a parent that's not healthy and you just don't have a choice, and you have done the work to become healthy. Because, you know, people may say that about me, like, I don't have a relationship with my mom, but that's because she chose not to talk to me. So at that point, what else am I supposed to do? But I've been to counseling, I've done the work, and I continue to make sure that I don't continue generational curses. So, you know, I always say, you know, God has a purpose. You know, he was like, okay, you're not going to be like the rest of the people that just say this is normal, this is whatever. So I don't think that's always the case.
No, I'm not saying that is a negative. I want you to have some type of relationship with at least one of them. You know, as long as one of them is alive, you know. I mean, I get where you're coming from or whatnot, because if I had a daddy as anywhere as remotely close as my biological, I probably wouldn't have a relationship with both either. But for what I prefer, I would like him to have a relationship at least with one of them.
Jay and Kia, how is it that this always happens? I get on here with y'all. It always seems like I'm divulging stuff or like something always. Listen, okay, so I had an ex, and so I'm close with my mother, and I have a stepfather, and I'm close with my family. But had an ex, and as Kia just said, you don't know what they've been through, right? But I let that go, and I said, well, you know, he's dealing with some things, but I agree with Jay on this, and I've had these conversations with a really close friend as well. So I had an ex. His mother was heavy into drugs when he was 3 years old, and he became homeless. He and his two siblings became homeless, right, as a young child. Now that he's a grown man in his 40s, he has kind of a tumultuous relationship with his mother. They're really just getting close within the last maybe 10 years, right? So, but I understood, because that's something I could understand, that, you know, that's hard to deal with. That's hard to deal with, excuse me, with the phone, but that's hard to deal with. So you not put up with it, but I understood, and I was that sounding board for him and everything. I've realized that there's just some things that came up that I said I would like somebody in my life that was close with their mother or close with their family, and that was much more considerate where it came to their immediate family, their immediate parentage, as Jay just said, because because it's important that, as Kia just said, they may not have done the work. You know, they, even if you've done the work, as people said that they've done the work, they're still dealing with certain things. They're still or they've had one a group counseling session and they think that they've done the work and they haven't. Okay, and they're still dealing with a lot of things. So and I've had this long conversation with one of my best friends, and she had an ex that another person had a very tumultuous relationship with his mother and was not close with his mother at all. She's very close with her family. Her mother had passed away, her brother had passed away, and he would rather spend time with her and her family. And his mother was in the hospital instead of going to see his mother in the hospital. That I was like, what? We didn't understand that. And it's important that you have somebody that has that family dynamic and understands and is close with their own parents. So if you want to grow with them, then you can acclimate them into your family, and that they understand your family dynamic, because he then did not understand her family dynamic, did not understand how close she was with her siblings and her family, because he didn't have that.
Yeah.
But that may be because sorry, Jay, go ahead. That may be, like I said, because he, was not like looking for that. Like, I love, okay? So when I see like healthy relationships, I like, oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. It might not have nothing to do with me, but I'm like, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. I'm the one who crying at the weddings and be like, oh, he wrote that vows for her. But with that being said, I would hope that, this is what I told my cousin. Sometimes you are not, God has a plan for you before you even come here. True. So, with her, she don't know who her biological father is. And, she was like stressing for years and years and years and years. And I told her, and her mom is a piece of work too, because her mom was abused sexually. Her mom had so much stuff going on. So she would be like, I feel so left out. But I said, God puts other people in your life. So it's this older lady that was one of her exes that taught her how to cook, who, loved on her, she had kids by other people. And this lady still, treats her like her daughter. This lady buys her kids laptops, school clothes, or whatever. So I said, sometimes your family may not be the ones that by blood, but God will put different people in your life. I think my circle is strong. The people that I love to rock with me for real, you better not mess with Kia, because they're gonna come get you, like, for real. They don't play. So I think God will put different people. It doesn't have to be blood, but like I said, you want to ask those questions. Well, who's in your life? Who can you count on? Who do you talk to? So again, sometimes we don't choose our family, because sometimes that family will have you all messed up.
I hear what you're saying.
Hold on, Crystal. So this is, and I'm not, and I wasn't coming at you about saying that anything wrong with the situation and stuff. Why I say I want somebody in my life with that balance is kind of like to bring both of y'all points together. Is just like Crystal said, when I'm not having that moment of where I want to go and see my biological, because mine is attached to his mom, he can reel me back in and say, hey, call your mama. Go see your mama. And I can do the same thing as far as the daddy part goes. You know what I'm saying? Now, we have those moments where it's just like, well, shoot, I'll take your mama, you can take my daddy, and we can be like, we good. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely get where you're coming from, Kia, as far as having other people. Because when my biological mom was not there, God blessed me with a bonus mom. That was my biological mom. Then he also blessed me with a bunch of other mentors that helped guide me deal and navigate those situations that I was even having with my mom at the time, and to make me appreciate the fact that I have this bonus mom in my life a lot better. Some of those people rest in peace, but they were there to actually sit me down and talk to me and say, look at these things that you're doing and how it's affecting these people that are caring for you. Because I was falling down that same path of my biological mom, as far as turning away from people that are actually doing things for me, trying to chase a person that is not. So sometimes you need that balance. And so for me, that's why I said I will want them to have that one, at least if they I know sometimes some of us just not have it, and we have to search outside of those other people, and we have those people in our life. But I would prefer a person that did, if possible, have some type of form relationship with one, because then they can relate with me on those days. It's like, I don't want to talk to her. I just don't want to talk to her. And those days that I might not want to talk to her, but it's like something in moving them It could be God, whatever, moving them to say, call your mama.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I mean is like, how are you going to understand my dynamic with my family if you don't have that as well? If you don't have that same type of relationship, excuse me, whether it be a mother or a father figure. I do hear Kia's point too, is that, and I have those other relationships in my life that are those bonus people that I know that I can come to when I need to. And I rock with Kia and I rock with, like, you understand, you have those people that arrive for you. You know what I'm saying? So I hear what your point is. But as far as a relationship, I definitely would want somebody in my life that just had that understanding of family. I had that understanding a little bit.
But it
So I hear
doesn't
what you're
mean
saying.
that they don't have to understand a family,
Yeah.
because my grandma is the bomb. So I've had like an ex call me like maybe like 2 years ago, and he was having an issue with his mom, and I gave him sound advice. I said, I don't think your mom, it was about some money or something, and he was like, he felt like she cheated him or played him or was manipulating the situation. And I was like, no, again, that's your mom at the end of the day. So I, feel like I gave him sound advice. Like, okay, this is this or whatever. That's still your mom at the end of the day. So it wasn't like, oh, okay, because, my mom giving me the business that I don't have the capacity to give you good advice on family. That's your mom. You was feeling some type of way and you called me because you trusted me still. And I just think that you can still give sound advice without having that relationship. Or
You definitely can. And my thing would be, if I was to meet a person that was kind of like in your situation where both parents we just can't get along for our mental states or whatever. If I had that situation, my thing would be, well, who's your rock? Who's your solid foundation behind you? That would be my questions to that person. Do you have mentors? Do you have these things in your life? Because you need something. You need something that grounds you. So that to me is like, you, at least if you had that one parent, that's your ground. Maybe, some people are misfortunate that both parents might have passed away at an early age, and so it's their uncle or aunt or something like that who is in that place. It might be a big sister, it might be a big brother. I don't know the situation, but that would be more so that was your parent. It's not necessarily your biological, because like I said, I have my bonus mom and whatever. It's not necessarily the biological, but when I was saying you have that parent, somebody that was in your corner, because even with my dude, his stepdad was like his dad. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you still had a dad figure. You're not totally lost. So you kind of get me when I say, sometimes I have this odd relationship with my stepmom or whatever, stuff like that. But I love her like my mother, because when I needed her as a mom, she was there. When I still need her as a mom, she's still there. So I don't have to feel any type of way. Even like he'll tell me his stories, like when his stepdad and his mom weren't no longer together, he would still come pick him up. Even though he had a brother by the stepdad, he would still come pick him up like he's his and teach him things or whatnot, and sometimes it's just like, okay, so you get the understanding of, if we was to enter a situation and we both got kids from outside situation, I need you to treat my baby this way. You know what I'm saying? And in Kia's situation, to revert it that way, she would understand, I can still be a mentor to your child. I don't have to be like this all mother figure if they still got their mother, but I can be a bonus mom. I could be a mentor. I got these things in my life. I got something that's gave me a solid foundation to be able to say, yes, I can give you this sound advice, and you could trust me. I got your best interest at the end of the day. And so that's, for me, I just need to know who that person is in your life before I'm like, okay, yes, I can choose you.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
All right, now y'all don't want to go.
I was just gonna say, I agree. It's important that we have male mentors and female mentors that are kind of outside of the parental relationship sometimes, that we can confide in. So yeah, I think that that's important too.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kia.
Yeah, like I said, those are, like I said, those conversations that, need to be had. Like you said, like, who is your rock? Because that's, like I said, very important, because, again, it may not be the rock that you would have normally selected, but God selected that person for you. So, I just, think that, like, people, you give people a chance and you, like, really don't overlook someone because you have these you're checking these boxes because you may miss out on an awesome person. Because I'm gonna just toot my horn. I think I'm awesome. I think I'm amazing. So, like to come from where I came from, baby, you like, Lord, you really like, worked miracles around here. So at the end of the day, I just, you have to like really like get to know people. Because sometimes, like I said, people that have families, they be toxic as heck. Like some people with family, they be like, oh, y'all is a hot mess. I don't want to go to the barbecue because I'm scared for my life.
Child, everybody fighting, just starting mess, starting rumors, and hating on each other, but smiling in each other's faces. Stuff like, yeah, sometimes you'd be like, I just need to see. I need
my
to see
brother, his family would literally be fighting, like throwing like literally like glass at each other. Like one day the cousin got his tooth knocked out. I said, I don't want to come Thanksgiving dinner here no more. We were kids. I was like, please don't take us over there no more. Because they would literally be fighting, like drag out the mama jumping on the daughter. It was some toxic mess.
It's so funny.
I was like, but they would all be like, I love you. Whenever you see them, oh, we love each other. Oh my gosh, we love each other. But you were like, but y'all be fighting like for blood. I wouldn't even fight nobody on the streets like that. They would be fighting like for blood.
Yeah, I'll make some final points on this. We're gonna have it bring back to it because like I said, family is a big issue. So we're gonna have another talk on it again or whatnot. But it makes me laugh because within my family, because we're married into each other like that, grandparents got their side of the family and stuff, and you start to see those different dynamics. Because I can even say like my grandmother's side of the family is a totally different beast than my grandfather's side of the family, and like the fun loving side of the family that y'all hear me talk about is more so my grandfather's side. The other side, it's a little catty. Sometimes it can be a little catty, it could be a little messy, a little stuff like that. You can even tell when we come together for different family events. Most of the time it's a funeral of somebody that's more mutual, but you could tell by the energy. You could tell everybody on this side is like, hey, how you doing? Hey, love you and stuff. And everybody on that side, hey, I ain't seen you in a minute. Chad, we're gonna say this story for another day because I gotta go. But I'm gonna tell y'all a story about one of the funerals that we just had and all the stuff that was coming out in the funeral. I was like, oh my God, wait, why are we doing this now? Why are we doing this now?
I think we all got funeral stories. I think
thanks for inviting me, Jay.
Okay, we're gonna have a funeral story now because I was like, why? Is this happening in real time? Like, are y'all serious? So we just gonna confess our everything right now. Okay, all right. But yeah, so I gotta wrap this up because we got Ready to Love coming up, the panel coming up right after this. And I'm glad you ladies came on and helped me discuss it. I know we veered off audience into some other things, but we were just, having a good girls talk, kikiing and everything. Ladies, you'd like to let them know where they can find you, any projects you got coming up or anything else? Go ahead, Krista, your mic is already open.
Okay, I know my mic is open. Well, thank you guys. Thank you so much, Jay, for inviting me. I was like, oh shoot, Jay just sent me a notice. So thank you. I was like, is this for now or is this for another for Ready to Love? So I just jumped on. Thank you guys so much. Please, I do have several things coming up. But tomorrow I'm scheduling, about a month ago, I did the Marriage Minded Man. I'm going to be doing the Marriage Minded Woman. I got Chloe Johnson and a couple of other ladies going to be joining me, and stay tuned because I'm going to get back in the habit. And so there's a lot of things coming up. And also Sunday is Misha and we are doing our Ready to Love and Put a Ring on It review, and stay tuned for CMK on Friday with Kia and I. And please join us this next Friday, especially. That's it for now, but please subscribe to Crystal and Net on YouTube. Thank you.
So just subscribe to my page, Kia Simone, because I'm so random now. I hit the notification bell because you never know when I'm going to have some shenanigans, story time, or whatever it may be. So hit that notification bell so you can catch my motivational Mondays, advice, whatever.
Yep. We're going to get back in the habit, y'all. We back in the habit. That's it.
Chad, I just got to get a habit. I got to develop a whole habit first. I'm trying to get these Saturdays aligned. I'm fighting with family because they want to come into town and everything. It's so hard. But yes, like I said, we're gonna be back here in about 15 more minutes to do Ready to Love with the super panel. Of course, it's not at Kojo's channel tonight because he is out of town. He is traveling back to Africa again. So I don't know if he's still on the plane or if he landed or what he's doing. But yes, we are over here tonight. So join us in about 15 more minutes. We're gonna take a small break and then we're gonna be right back at you guys. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel. It's Another Round JS with Jay and Sean. And also leave your comments down below. Let us know how y'all think about, how your family interacts into y'all stuff. Maybe y'all can have some of y'all stories told up here or whatnot. Look, we got to laugh at some of this stuff sometimes. It'd be a whole mess. They make movies off of our lives now. Shoot. One of my favorite is For Death. Is it A Death at a Funeral? That's one good hot family man. I love that movie. Oh, shoot. Why did I bring Chris Rock into this? No. Anyways, I'm not about to go about protecting family. We're not doing it tonight because everybody's protecting their family. Anyways, you guys have a good night. Thank you guys for joining. To see you again.
Good
Bye.
night. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to stop.